Yep.
Okay. All right, we ready to rock? Well, I've been gone for a month. We ready to go? Ready to go? Come on, Jay. All right, we ready? Good evening. I would like to call the November 11th regularly scheduled board meeting to order and ask that you join me in a moment of silence. Good evening. I would like to call the November 11th regularly scheduled board meeting to order and ask that you join me in a moment of silence. Good evening. I would like to call the November 11th regularly scheduled board meeting to order. Thank you. And now would you please rise and join in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible. Thank you. With liberty, now would you please rise and join in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag. Thank you. And now I will read our mission statement. The Waterloo schools will set the standard for urban education by ensuring that every student is given the comprehensive support and diverse experiences needed to graduate with a diploma and a plan. Thank you. So just for FYI, we do have an adjustment to our agenda for the evening. We will be removing item 5 from the consent agenda. And diverse experiences needed to graduate with a diploma and a plan. Okay. Thank you. Just for FYI, we do have the next item on our agenda is a board. Is a proclamation. Removing item 5 from the Waterloo Youth City Council. Needed to graduate with a diploma and a plan. Okay. And this is the Waterloo Youth City Council anti-bullying proclamation. Can you make sure the green light is on?
All right, there we go. We're the Waterloo City Council. I'm the mayor, Benjamin Ritter, and I go to West High School.
Elise Hong-Miller, I'm the budget chair of the Youth City Council.
I'm Naima Haynes. I'm the community chair of the Waterloo Youth City Council.
Can you make sure the green light is on?
And this is the proclamation. Whereas the City of Waterloo and the Waterloo Youth City Council and its leadership speak out together against bullying, whether physical, verbal, or cyber. It harms individuals and communities. And whereas everyone deserves to feel safe, respected, and valued in all environments, including schools, workplaces, online platforms, and public spaces. And whereas we acknowledge that bullying affects students' mental health, academic performance, and overall well-being, it can occur in schools, online, and in the community. And whereas we will work to promote kindness, empathy, and understanding, which are essential for fostering inclusive and supportive communities, we celebrate diversity and respect differences. Together as a united front, we pledge to take action against bullying and create a safe, respectful, and nurturing environment for all students. By working collaboratively, we can ensure that our community and schools are places where every individual is valued and protected. Dr. Smith, can I bring this forward for you to sign? We pledge to take action against bullying and create a safe, respectful, Thank you. nurturing environment for all students. By working collaboratively.
Thank you, Ben. And while the students are bringing that forward, this is a collaboration with the City of Waterloo, the Youth City Council, and the Waterloo Community School District.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. And while the students are bringing that forward, this is a collaboration with the City of Waterloo, the Youth City Council, and the Waterloo Community School District. Thank you, Ben. And while the students are bringing that forward, this is a collaboration with the City of Waterloo, the Youth City Council, and the Waterloo Community School District. Does anyone have any questions? Does any board members have any questions for the youth city council? Or Dr. Smith? And this is done annually. Seeing no questions, we'll move forward with our agenda. Does anyone have any questions? Does any board members have? The next item on our agenda is a board celebration, East High and West High music students. Some of our high school music classes will be showcased as students from both East and West will present what they are learning in the classroom. East High students will share their experience in AP music theory and piano lessons, and West High students will share some of their original music compositions written in the songwriting class. Some of our high school music classes will be
Hello, my name is Naomi Kraus. I am the district fine arts coach for Waterloo, and so it is my pleasure to introduce our two teachers from East and West. We have Joelle Smith, who's the band teacher at East, and we have Erin Garrity Williams, who is the orchestra teacher at West. And they teach some of these what we call non-traditional music classes. And so when we think of a traditional music class, we think of band, orchestra, and choir who perform together and give concerts. And our non-traditional music classes don't give concerts, and so they don't have really an opportunity to share what they've learned or share what they do. So we thought that this would be a good opportunity for you to see what piano class is like, or a composition class. And we don't have any guitar students tonight, but maybe in the future we'll have our guitar students perform for you and have an opportunity to share what these students are doing in their classes. So, I don't know who wants to share what they've learned or share what they do. So we thought that this would be a good opportunity for you to
Hi, I'm Erin Garrity Williams. Up at West High, I teach the orchestras, 2 levels of guitar and songwriting. And tonight I'd like to share with you our songwriting students. A few years ago, we did the curriculum adoption, and the board was so kind to approve our new songwriting lab at both high schools, where the students really have a chance to work with like absolutely top of the line software and computer programs and that. And so tonight I've brought with me one of my star students from last year, Eric, and he wants to share with you his composition that he wrote. And so he has kind of some background here as to how it all came about. Eric, are you willing to share? And so tonight I've brought with me one of my star students
good evening.
From last year, Eric. And
So just a little bit of background that I talked about with Miss Garrity here. At first, I had experience with instruments. At church, I was involved in the worship team. And so they moved me from learning guitar to drums to piano, and so they taught me like a little bit of everything. And so when I went to the music, I'm also part of the orchestra, so I played the violin with Miss Garrity. And so when I got the opportunity to be in the class of music composition, was it the first or second time? The second year. And so I'm very I appreciate that I got the opportunity to be in the class. And so as we went with the app called Ableton, we started learning a little bit more about it, and as we made new things, we learned how to make new sounds, new stuff, you know, and eventually we had a final project, and I got the opportunity to make a song that I had written a while ago. However, I had not had the opportunity to you know, bring it to what I was able to make it. And I'm not the best singer, but I did put some vocals there. So, and it's also in Spanish. So, if you know Spanish, then you'll understand it. If you don't, well, maybe not. To what I was able to make it. And I'm not the best singer, but I did put some vocals there. So, and it's also in Spanish. So, if you know Spanish, then you'll understand it. If you don't, well, maybe not. To what I was able to make it. And I'm not the best singer, but I did put some. You did all the piano. And it's also in Spanish. So, if you know Spanish, then you'll understand it. If you don't, well.
But we have really magnificently talented students here in Waterloo, so I wanted to make sure you got a chance to kind of hear from those if you had any questions for Eric.
This may be a question for either or both of you. In addition to working with learning how to work with the software and how to record the instruments, and I'm not sure, like maybe use some electronics with the software, I don't know. Do they also learn about forms, like song forms, like, different ways to put a song together, ABA, or, chorus, verse,
Yes.
chorus, and
Absolutely. We start really kind of from day one forming like song structure and how in songs repetition is really important. So how we write a verse versus chorus versus a bridge, and how to really kind of draw an audience in with repetition.
cool, thanks.
So are these non-traditional courses, are they like semester-long electives, Guitar 1, Guitar 2, songwriting?
All of our courses are 2 semesters, 1 year.
Okay, and so how much interest do you have, or what are the class sizes?
Last year, the songwriting class, we had 2 classes. One was about 10, and the other was at 5. This year, I do have a smaller group at 5. Our room holds only 10, though.
And are these offered at both East and West, or not?
Yes.
Class sizes?
Okay. Last year, the songwriting class, we had 2 classes.
I brought a few students of mine that I have in the AP Theory and Piano class.
This
We
year,
have
I do have a
Kinsey
smaller group
and
at
Carter
5.
come up here
Our
for me.
room holds only 10 now.
And Noah.
Are these offered at both
So I teach not only band, but I also teach the AP Music Theory and the Piano Lab at East. And to go along with what you asked, Mr. Schmidt, these class sizes are meant to be smaller, not just for the sake of the class size can only fit. I only have 10 pianos, I only have 10 workstations, and it's a smaller classroom that can only, like our max is 10, maybe 11 in that class. But these 3 are, Carter took the AP Theory last year, Noah is in AP Theory this year, Kinsey is in AP Theory this year, and then these 2 are both in my piano class. And if they could just share like a statement of like your experience in the class and what it has taught you would be great. Thank you.
She just put you on the spot.
Also, there's another student back there, I think, who's in AP at West. Are you in AP, Naya? Are you in AP Theory at West? Okay, I thought you were. Sorry.
Like your experience in the
I was going to call her up here and make her do it too. She's in, you took theory though, didn't you? Did you take theory? Like a week.
Sorry. There's another student back there, I think, who's in AP at West. Are you in AP?
Yeah.
Are you in AP theory at West?
We, in theory, just learn
I
like
was going to call her up here and make her do it too.
a lot of
She's in-
theory concepts. We start like from
Did you take theory?
really basic stuff like intervals, and we get to like really complicated stuff towards the end of the year because it is an AP class. I play various instruments, so it's helpful to me in that regard. And just in general in composition, it's also helpful. And then piano lab, there's not much to say about it. It's just gradually the songs get harder and you become better at playing piano.
It's more of an independent-based class where everybody's kind of at their own pace, so we work one-on-one, but they all practice together at the same time. But everybody kind of advances at their own pace throughout the curriculum.
So if the students are going to major in music after leaving West High, this is a huge leg up on their degree, isn't it? The class piano and the, yeah? He'll talk about that? Okay.
So I'm actually going to be a music education major at UNI, and one of the required things is knowing
So if the
how
students
to
are
play
going to
piano.
major in music
So
after leaving
I'm
West High,
currently in
this is a
piano
huge
class,
leg up on their
and
degree,
getting
isn't
that
it? The
basic
class
head
piano
start
and the-
on
yeah,
piano,
yeah,
I
he'll talk
feel
about that?
has
Okay.
already really helped a lot. Because going into college, I'm going to want some prior piano knowledge to be able to get that leg up on other students and really know what I'm doing. And having a smaller class size at East in that piano class has definitely helped so far because Smith, she took piano since what, like age 7? Yeah. And being able to have that like one-on-one time where it's not, she's having to like run around the entire class hour, she can kind of sit with me for like 10 minutes or so, tell me what I'm doing wrong, like what I need to work on, stuff like that, and it's a daily occurrence, has definitely been able to keep it fresh in my mind. And the AP theory, that has also helped a lot because something going into college that I'm going to want to be good at is like being able to recreate stuff off of just what I hear. And AP theory definitely helped with that because intervals and chords and like stuff like that was very beneficial. And it also translates into my piano playing because I can be able to like visually see the piano keys but also tie that with an interval. It's very useful.
And when I was a music major undergrad, theory, you have to take 4 semesters of it, 1, 2, 3, and 4, was the most failed and had to be retaken course part of your major. So by going into an undergrad music major with this, you will have so much of a better, easier time and be able to enjoy your experience and not be knocking down the TA's door like, you know, every day like I had to. So keep it up. Keep up the good work.
Into undergrad music
Lindsay
major
is
with
our
this.
example of
you
probably
will
not a
be-
music
you
major,
will
but
have
she's
so
in the
much of
AP
a better,
class and
easier
she's
time and
doing
be able to enjoy
phenomenal,
your
so.
experience and not be knocking down the TA's door like, you know,
So
every
I'm in the
day,
AP Music Theory class
I had to.
currently, and we
So,
learn a
keep
lot
it
about
up,
the
keep up the good
basics of
work.
instruments, not just in the own clef, like the clef that we currently read in, but we learn about like in multiple different clefs. I think we've learned 4 so far this year. And we only have 6 people in the class currently, but it's really helpful because we're able to get that one-on-one time with Smith so that we can like learn it to the best of our abilities. And I'm also currently in the process of learning how to play saxophone for jazz band, and that's been really helpful in my experience with that as well.
What concept are you working on right now in AP theory?
We're currently learning about 7th chords and so that we can learn it inversions with like different triads and 7th chords. Also currently in the process of learning how to play saxophone for jazz band, and that's been really helpful.
What concept are you working on right now
Yep.
in AP theory?
And for everybody else in the room that's not a musician, when you listen to music and you know where it's going and where it's going to land, that's what harmonic analysis is. When you like, yep, this chord comes next, and yep, we're going to land on that feeling, that's what harmonic analysis is. When I was in high school at West, I was so jealous of the Cedar Rapids schools because they had theory and we didn't. And so the fact that we have this here now is really, really cool.
want to point out, the AP Theory class is really geared towards, they talk about only having 6 kids in class. It's really geared towards those that are currently enrolled in band, orchestra, choir, because you have to have a certain knowledge base in order to take the class and be successful in it. So the fact that it is a small class is not unnatural, because it really is tailored to the band, orchestra, choir people that are used to or have experience in either an instrument or a voice. So, but and since it's an AP class, they do get college credit for it.
Yep.
As
I was
an
going to say they
elective
might
if
be able to,
so.
they can probably clip out of Theory 1 and 2.
They still have to take the diagnostic
Okay.
test.
Yep.
But yeah. People that are used to or have
So what do the exams, the AP Music Theory exams look like? Are
Great
they-
question. It is actually the longest AP class exam out of all of them. It is a 5-hour exam consisting of 2 sets of multiple choice. One is visual and one is all listening. So there's 45 multiple choice questions and all of them are listening. Then they have 9 free response questions. One, they have to listen to a melody and write it out based off of just the first note. They have to listen. They have 2 examples on that. They have 2 examples where they hear 4 parts and they only can notate the top and the bottom of each and provide a harmonic analysis to what's written. They have 2 examples of that. They have to write 4 parts based off of the Roman numerals that are given or these other parameters. They have to do 2 sight singing examples, so they're given an exercise. They're given 90 seconds to look at it, and they have to sing it with just given the first pitch, and then you get 1 shot to do it, and then they record it on an iPad and they send it in a national board. Last year, I had 1 student get a 4, and the year
nuts.
before that, I had a student get a 5.
Yeah.
So
This is not for the faint of heart.
it is probably the most rigorous test because of all of you talk about getting in front of people and doing that. This would freak anybody out.
Question, what grade are each of you in, and do you plan to use this music going forward? I know the gentleman said he's going to go into music education, but for the other 2, are you planning on utilizing what you're learning now at the next level? And then your grade for each of you. And do you plan?
I'm a junior this year, and I don't plan on majoring in music, but I've talked about potentially minoring in it, or also just continuing on with marching band and concert band.
What you're learning now.
What are you thinking about majoring in?
And then your grade.
I'm planning on majoring in business.
And whether they are or not, the analysis that is required and the deep learning that is required here is really, really helpful for whatever you're going to go forward and do. And the amount of study that it requires and the amount of commitment that it requires also are good practices for adult life. And whether they are or not, the analysis that is required and the deep learning that is
I'm a
required
junior at the moment.
is really, really helpful for whatever
I'm not
you're
entirely
going
sure if I'm
do.
going to
And the
attend
amount of
college, but if
study
I
that
do,
it
it'll
requires and the
be
amount of
majoring in
commitment that it
music.
requires also are good practices for adult life. Both, I don't know if anybody else has any questions for the students or teachers?
I'm
I
a
don't-
junior at the moment.
Yeah, we're gonna let you handle
Okay.
this one. No,
I do have one
I do
question.
have a, I have a comment
But if I do, it'll
before we leave. So the gentleman that did the piece from West Side, Eric, I didn't understand a word,
Anybody else has any questions?
but it was so soothing and calming and relaxing to just sit and listen to it. So great job, all of you.
I had a question to the instructors.
From West Side, Eric.
At least on, I hear, you're using some software applications here. Are your computers that you've been given for these, are they adequate as far as capacity, performance?
In some of the capacity we do, when we're working with digital music, we're okay. But with Eric's project, we were working with a lot of recording equipment. He was playing the guitar and playing the piano and things like that. And at that point, the computers weren't quite keeping up. We ran into some technical issues, and he worked really, really hard to get through all of it. But the equipment we have is not the best when we're dealing with a lot of information.
So something maybe we can make some improvements there to really get you, get the best out of your performance if you don't have the software.
Yeah. Down the road, it'd be really nice to have software or equipment where we could do more live recording and have a computer system that was quick enough to respond in that kind of capacity.
Okay. probably worth noting.
One other quick question. First of all, nice job with the song, and your vocals aren't bad at all. It sounded really good. Thank you for that. The other piece is you mentioned you don't have concerts. Why? Why are there no, even if it's a mini concert or something, why isn't this being showcased outside of the boardroom?
We'll definitely have to take that into consideration and find opportunities for our students to share their work more often.
Yeah, it's an awesome experience, and I think it definitely should be, the community should hear more about it.
Yeah, my oldest daughter, she took private lessons on piano, and she had her senior recital, and it was, it was amazing because she did do marching band 1 year in college, but for piano, that was kind of it for what she was doing for the most part. But it was kind of neat to see that kind of wrap up after a decade plus of taking piano and just seeing what she had learned, and so made her. Not all kids have got that same opportunity, but maybe we could have like senior recitals or something for individual performers.
Yeah, we'll have to work on some sort of showcase at the end of the semester.
I think it'd be awesome.
Okay. Thank you so much.
And Ms. Smith, while I've got you here in front of them, would you, we were talking the other day about your band and sight reading. Speaking of technology, would you tell the board what you told me about how you work? One of the hardest things to get kids to do is read music fluently, and that's what we're talking about when we say sight reading, that you can read music with the same facility that you read, words on a page. So you were telling me about some technology things that you do with your band. Is it their Chromebooks? Do you have this on their Chromebooks? Can you describe that?
That's a great. The district purchased an 8-year subscription to Music First for the high school bands, and it's been a godsend because one of the softwares within there is called Sight Reading Factory, and they have a new format within that where it's called Sight Reading Live, where they have it on their Chromebook, and it's like a Google Meet type thing where you put in a code and then I control it, and exercise pops up in their Chromebook, and we're all sight reading random exercise, like right in the rehearsal room. It's just like a little eight measure exercise, but it's just a great warm up just to get them sight reading and reading more, and just not so they're doing the same repetitious thing every day in their folder. But we spend 15 minutes every day doing warm ups and exercises that just kind of keeps their mind moving, and then every day we're also improving the rigor of it. Adding different rhythms, adding different slurs, just things like that to just keep them sight reading, and we can do it right at the touch of a button, and that software has been amazing for us, and I use it. We do weekly playing assignments, and we do daily stuff, and it's great software. It's perfect for us. Things like that to just keep them sight reading, and we can do it right at the touch of a button, and that software has been amazing for us, and I use it. We do weekly playing assignments, and we do daily stuff, and it's great software. It's perfect for us. That's a newer technology as well. In fact, as you say that, we just had the UNI Band Day last Saturday, 2 days ago, and we had 5 East students at the UNI Band Day, and they all played on the halftime of the UNI game, and all the UNI students had their phones on lyres, and everything is on there, and you use it right in rehearsal, and the drum major starts it, hits a button that says we're starting here, and then it pops up on everybody's phone. It's just crazy, the technology. Yeah. Halftime of the UNI game. I could go on for hours, but
we know. We know. If you guys didn't do anything else,
thank you for indulging me, everyone. This is great stuff, and I'm so proud. I'm so proud of the directors, and I'm so proud of the students. So good work, you guys. Good work, you guys. And that song was amazing. Thank you for sharing. That takes a lot of bravery, and you are very brave. And it was wonderful.
Great job, everyone.
Proud of the directors, and I'm so proud of the students. So good work, you guys. Good work, you guys. And that song was amazing.
Moving right along. The next item on our agenda is for information only, and it is a board celebration, the West High journalism students. So we have Nicole Goodman, English teacher, yearbook advisor, wall hug advisor, insider advisor. West High yearbook and newspaper students attended the It's for information only, and it is a board Iowa High School Press Association conference on October 24th, 2024. and they're here to tell us a little bit about their journey.
All right, hello. Thank you for having us. I feel like we've made this a yearly occurrence now, but we were able to take students to the Iowa High School Press Association's fall conference, as Astor just said. And so I have a few students with me that are going to kind of talk through what that looked like and what that opportunity was like and what awards they brought home. But I'll start off by having them all introduce themselves. It's a yearly occurrence now, but we were able to take students to the Iowa High School
And great.
I'm a junior. My name's Alyssa
Mahalich. With me that are going to kind of talk through what that looked like. And
this is my first year, so I'm just.
But I'll start off by having them all introduce themselves.
Oh yeah, I'm yearbook and on Insider on the newspaper.
I'm a junior too, and my name is Emily Dadigan, and I'm the photography editor in yearbook, and this is my second year.
My name is Jana Gomez. I'm a senior, and I'm the editor-in-chief of the yearbook.
Yeah, I'm yearbook and on Insider on the newspaper.
My name is Naya. I'm on the staff for Wallhawk Insider, and I'm a senior.
My name is Kaylin Crawford. I'm a senior this year. It's my second year on the Insider team, and this year I am the editor-in-chief.
All right, so I'm going to give a little brief information, and then they will take it away and tell you about their respective teams. But this year, again, we went to IHSPA, the Iowa High School Press Association's Fall Conference, and this is a really cool opportunity. They hosted in Iowa City at the University of Iowa, where they pretty much invite all journalism teams all over the state to come in and attend this conference. So they always have a keynote speaker. There's a bunch of breakout sessions, but it's a really cool opportunity for them to learn from like industry professionals, but also learn from each other. They pour so much time and energy into everything they do, and while they have friends that might not be on the yearbook staff, might not be on the newspaper staff, it's sometimes hard to have students who understand or kind of get the amount of work that they put into it. So it's a really cool opportunity where they get to see other students from all across the state and all the great things they did. So this year we took both our Insider and yearbook team, and then we also had East High's yearbook team come along too. So we brought all of us and represented Waterloo. So before we talk about their individual awards, something that was really fantastic for us is last year our yearbook and newspaper team nominated Dr. Andy Meehy for Administrator of the Year. They ended up writing a 4-page full nomination, like single-spaced. Then they had 2 pages full of student testimonials. But they really wanted him to be recognized for everything that he's done for us. And so actually at the end of last year, they presented him with his like nomination award, because at that point we had no idea if he would win it or not. But as you can see on the screen, he did. He was recognized as Admin of the Year and got this nice fancy plaque and everything. But some kind of highlights on there of why he was nominated is that I'm sure you all know, as we've talked multiple times, that our yearbook program has kind of been in a state of rebuilding, and then our Insider, our newspaper program, the newspaper ceased publication in 2015, and then this is our 3rd year with it back. And so he's been a really big supporter in kind of getting things off the ground or supporting us with all of our lofty big ideas. If it's not a yes, it's a maybe, or how can we make that happen? So he's been a big supporter for us. And so we were really happy to see him recognized, and then also Waterloo recognized, as we have not had an IHSPA Admin of the Year from the Cedar Valley. So it was very exciting. All right, I'll pass it over to yearbook. If it's not a yes, it's a maybe, or how can we make that happen?
This year, our yearbook team took home 22 different awards. IHSPA has a variety of categories that the schools can submit their work to, different categories like photos, design, and coverage. The Wallhawk yearbook team brought home awards in the categories of portrait pages, cover, photos, reader services, theme, infographics/mod, photo illustration, and design. Categories that the schools can submit their work to, different categories like photos, design, and coverage.
So this is pretty much our theme package. So like we have our Insider pages and kind of like what separates like our fall, because we go by season, so it separates like what our fall, summer, winter. And so up there is like just an introduction to us, and then on the bottom left is our like very end page, so like the solid part like at the back, and then our cover and our inside page, and it pretty much just shows what our theme looks like, and it gives you like a view into like the thing that's going to follow through the book, because we try our best to follow it throughout so you can see like the consistency. And then on the bottom left, and we got first place in a lot of things, and we did win first place in the theme package, so it was very consistent throughout. It pretty much just shows what our theme looks like, and it gives you like a view into
we got honorable mention on the reader services, so just basically how easy the yearbook is to read. So from the index to the front cover and throughout the book.
We also won third place for our cover. This was made by a senior from last year, Mariah. And then I won first place for a digital media promotion on the Instagram. Just like a yearbook sneak peek, trying to get more people to buy the book.
And another award that we won first place in was Jana's Innovation Award, and it's pretty much how it is it's just a different page, something out of the ordinary, because like there's football and then there's like the English classes, but then the Innovation Award is like you come up with a different type of page that other yearbooks usually don't do. So Jana won first place in that, and it was basically just a trends page. And then we won honorable mention, Jana and Mallory, and this is our Walk Wednesday, and it's how we get coverage throughout the school, because it's very hard to get coverage in our yearbook because we have a lot of students. And so another way we try to get coverage is by doing our Walk Wednesdays. And our staff members at the yearbook do this, and every Wednesday a staff member, they choose a student at West High, and we put a picture of them on the social media, and we explain what they do. And I think it works very well, and we all enjoy doing it, and it's something simple to just get people recognized, because there are a lot of amazing people at West that do very different things.
We got third place in environmental photo. One of our seniors on this team, on the staff, got it. And then we got an honorable mention and another one from Allie Parker's. So it's just basically like capturing the outside, like not just like if I'm taking a picture of a football game, not just me showing that photo, but the outside kind of view of it. We got an honorable mention and besides those that are the awards that are shown, we also won 14 more that we brought back. Not just like if I'm taking a picture of a football game.
We also presented at one of the like space times, like the sessions during IHSPA, and I remember last year me and a current senior right now, we had went to one, and we went to a panel during a session, and we thought we could easily do this because we've been rebuilding our program and we have a lot to share. So Goodman sent in like a request for us, and it got accepted. So this IHSPA, we came up with a presentation to do during the third session, and it was just rebuilding our program, because I think every single year we set the bar higher, and so we just wanted to share all our ideas. And so it was just basics of our yearbook program, how to sell more books, increase our student involvement, like reach out more, and just increase like our skills throughout like writing, photography, and leadership. And it was our 4 editors that presented, and I think it went really well.
We also had a lot of other schools coming up to us at this session, just wanting to know more, so we connected with them through different contact information, and we're going to start collaborating together.
And it was our 4 editors that presented, and I think it went really well.
So again, I'm Kaylin. I'm the editor-in-chief for Wahawk Insider this year. This year we won Snow Distinguished Site again. Last year we were also distinguished. And in order to earn this award, which is national, we have to meet a certain criteria and earn badges in excellence in writing, audience engagement, multimedia, story page excellence, continuous coverage, and site excellence. So throughout the entire year, we're working towards sort of a list of goals. We have to publish so many things in each category, and it's something that we strive for every year, and every year we just keep getting it quicker and quicker.
Story page excellence, continuous coverage, and site excellence.
Some of the things that we also strove for this year were our IHSPA Spring Awards, and the first year we had 13, and last year we had 22, so that's a very large improvement. And some of those are
every year, and every year we just keep getting it quicker and quicker.
Yeah. These are the snow ones from last year, so the quality of the work and how we can see how it changes and progresses throughout the year.
The first year we had 13, and last year we had 22. So
And then we also got just some highlights were first place in social media reporting. We tend to at least once, I'd say every 2 to 3 weeks, post a quick coverage on something on Instagram. So recently we did a voting coverage on things that you need to know if you're a first-time voter. And then we also last year did a video story about the attendance policies, and that also got first place in video stories. once, I'd say, every 2 to 3 weeks.
Another
post
project
a
we
quick
did
coverage
that
on something on Instagram.
one of our seniors this
So
year
recently
and
we did
a senior from last
voting
year
coverage
did
on
was
things that you need to
like
know if
an
you're a
inside
first
look into
and
one
then
of
we
our
also last year
teachers'
did a video
classrooms.
story about
And
the
then
attendance policies.
a senior
and
this
also
year
got first person
and
video stories.
started a project series that was an open letter to students that were struggling with certain things, and that's still ongoing, and that won second place. Was like an inside look into.
And then we also got second place in our social justice story. This one was written by Allie Parkhurst and Lucy Prescott. This also was awarded with Best of Snow, which is a huge achievement for not only our publication, but any publication. And then we also got first place in an editorial cartoon. This was our first year doing this. The first cartoon we published got first place. In our social justice story. This one was written by Allie Parkhurst and Lucy Prescott. This also was awarded with Best of Snow.
And then one of our magazine designs from our quarterly magazine got an honorable mention last year. And then along with that, we got 15 more awards as well.
The first cartoon we published got first place. So back to IHSPA Fall Awards. Last year we brought home a banner for the first time, given it was our first year of publications, because with IHSPA Fall Awards it goes based on the year prior to. So this year we also brought home another banner for All Iowa News Team of the Year. It's 15 finalists that are announced during Spring Awards, and then at Fall Awards you find out if you actually won, and it's only the top 5 journalism programs in the state that get awarded with this. Another banner for All Iowa News Team of the Year. It's 15 finalists that are announced. And then we also have a really cool opportunity coming up with our program. This is the JEA Partner Project. So our motto this year, as we've been looking for new opportunities and ways to grow, our motto has been the worst they can say is no. So we're kind of striving for everything that we can, and if it happens, that's amazing, and if it doesn't, that's okay too. So this year we applied for the JEA Partner Project, and we did get chosen. Basically, this workshop is offered through the Journalism Education Association, where JEA partners with 1 to 2 high schools each year. This year, we are a recipient of this. And then as part of the package, there is a free Saturday workshop that will be held at our school. That will be held at West, and all of the Iowa news teams will come in and get to work together, which is super awesome. And then 2 days prior, these 3, which you can see, Michelle, Margie, and Kyle are coming in to work with us for 2 days prior to the entire thing, just teaching us all day of better ways to improve what we're doing and what the best way is to kind of get out information the best way that we can. 2 days prior, these 3, which you can see, Michelle.
I'm going to piggyback off that a little bit. So JEA is a national organization, and so out of this, like, we were chosen out of, I don't know however many schools applied for it out of the entire nation, but they targeted towards schools that could benefit from some industry professionals or could benefit, like, that have the potential to kind of bring their program to the next level. And so with those 3 people that they are flying in, they're going to spend 3 days with us. They're going to do lots of hands-on training. One is a professional photographer who's photographed for Sports Illustrated. One is the 2024 Broadcast Advisor of the Year. The other one is like known as a rising star in JEA, like an all-around phenomenal advisor. So these are really cool people. I've talked to them over Zoom calls. We've had a few now. But it's a really cool opportunity for our students and then honestly for Iowa students, because they're going to work hands-on with West High students for 2 days, and then it's kind of anyone who wants to learn from some of the best will be able to do it. So kind of like Kaylin said, our motto is the worst they can say is no. So when we applied for this, did we think we'd get chosen? Not necessarily, but we did, and that's really exciting.
Have you got commitments from anyone around the state that'll be?
We put it out at IHSPA because we had our date set, and we kind of put out a Google form, and we've had a handful of schools already sign up and say, let us know the info, we're in, we want to be there. And so I think with our location, I think we'll be really good to get like Iowa City schools, Cedar Rapids schools. I think we'll get some Des Moines schools. I think it'll be more of an issue or harder for like Western Iowa, just because that becomes more of kind of a trek. But we've had a lot of schools that have already said that they're interested because it's a free workshop that JEA is putting on. They kind of house the costs for it all, which is really cool.
Do these students have to take a journalism class before they join one of these publications?
In an ideal world, our journalism class is a feeder class, but in our our reality
Current world.
versus, yeah, our current world, no. Okay. So it's either you take journalism or it's application. So if you don't have any journalistic background, you can still apply. And typically, any student who shows great passion and excitement, we welcome to the team with open arms. Journalism class is a feeder class, but in our
Very, very poised presentations from all 5 of you. Thank you.
So in addition to the exceptional content creation, do you get involved in the business aspects, the budgets, the contract, the printing, the yearbook sales? Who does that and how does that work?
Very, very poised presentations from.
Well, this year we started looking for sponsors for our online media. We raised
Aspects, the budgets, the contract, the printing, the yearbook sales. Who does
we
that?
raised almost around $1,000 for not only just our online forum, but also for things that we're striving towards. We also started a sort of fundraiser, and we have one that's about to go up where we're going to be selling T-shirts for people to buy. T-shirts and crew necks, I believe, through Raygun, who's been really good working with us. And basically, we still kind of are looking out for sponsors, but we sort of set aside a 2-week period of time where all of our insider members would go out and we would go to businesses, small or large, and we would give them a contract and we would say, hey, would you be interested in doing this? And then based on their answer, like we would get their information, give it back to Ms. Goodman, and then all of those sponsors feed into us being able to keep up with our work. Where all of our insider members would go out and we would go to businesses.
So from the yearbook aspect, I was the marketing editor last year, so I would help with like the sales. We came
based on their answer, like we would get their information.
we didn't know much about what we were selling, so we took that back to West, and now we're like every day we have a sales update, and we go through like how much money it equates to and how much money like we will make in profits and stuff like that. And this is really helpful just to know like what goals we need to set and who we need to reach out to and stuff like that. We are also going into more ad selling, trying to get sponsorships. We are doing senior ads this year that parents can purchase. I mean, that'll give us some more money and help us cover some more pages. So.
We know we can't always do it all financially. We know we can't wave a magic wand and suddenly we have all the money in the world. But each year, like Jana said, we've been trying to take steps forward to what can we do to make more money, because equipment costs a lot. To print our magazines, that costs a lot. Our website, like it all has a cost associated with it. But like they shared, we've been kind of trying to step up our game and selling advertisements for all of our publications, trying out some fundraisers to see if we can kind of help offset the costs at all. But we have tried really hard to make sure they're all without the doom of it, but like the students are in tune with kind of where we're at financially and what needs to happen for us to reach our goals and to do our things.
Yeah, I think that's great. That just learning the business aspect is a big bonus to the, that's a whole another lesson in itself.
Is there anything on equipment that you got a wish list of new equipment or things that that would help your program? I mean, you're showing such amazing progress here, but is there a limitation to what you have or something that would really help you take a big step forward?
Yeah, we have kind of our wish list that we kind of have up in the classroom, and that's like we always look towards it of like if all the money in the world, this is what we'd have. And I think our biggest issue right now is cameras. We have 3 and they're decent, they get the job done, but even today we had our veterans assembly and I had 5 students who wanted to photograph it. And so there's a lot of times where we have to kind of pick and choose, especially with our high points in the school year. If we have a basketball game and then we also have 2 wrestling meet, like a wrestling meet and then swim, like we're trying to divide and conquer, and sometimes we have to prioritize. And sometimes it doesn't feel good to prioritize when they all are top priority, and we have the passion, we have the students. But really, that's what we've been working towards with our fundraising, is taking that next step with our camera and lenses to kind of build that equipment, build that inventory.
Yeah, it seems like I don't know where our process is for step. I guess something goes through building admin up. Jared, would they go through building admin and up for something like that?
Where's their budget come from? Is that what
Or budget requests for something? Right, would it come up through Dr. Meehy and up to somewhere else here, or how would that?
Yep, and I saw you referenced, within the ward that Dr. Meehy was given was his ability to, problem solve and try to remove barriers for you guys. So that's absolutely the best place to start, is with the building administrator, and see if there's any wiggle room there. And you guys have been very resourceful in terms of finding some other avenues for funding. But yeah, it gets a little tricky to finding some of that the new technology. But I think you guys have done a great job of looking at those. That's absolutely the best place to start, is with the building administrator, and see if there's any wiggle room there.
And for you, the sponsor, what you're doing right now, getting these kids to conferences, getting them in front of professionals, getting them to see what happens outside of Waterloo, Iowa, is the smartest thing you can do to build your program, because it makes the students want it. And when the students want it, they will build the program. So congratulations to you, and congratulations to all of the students and all of the publications that we have.
I'll add another word besides smart, is beneficial. So you're benefiting the young people in their future endeavors. And they're all articulated and well-spoken as well. So I know that has a lot to do with it as well. So great job. Congratulations again. Thank you. Young people in their future endeavors. And they're all articulated and well-spoken as well. I know that has a lot to do with it as well. So great job. Congratulations.
I want to see what a high school yearbook looks like these days.
Look like this week.
They look so much less nerdy than we did. Woo!
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Already look like we have.
Yeah.
So moving along on our agenda, the next item on our agenda is information from individuals and delegations. This is an opportunity where those who wish to address the school board may do so. Please keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. Ms. Arndorfer will hold up a yellow card when you have 30 seconds remaining and a red card when your time has expired. At that time, I will ask you to conclude your public remarks. Please also keep your comments respectful and constructive. We're all here with the goal of trying to help our students. Please also avoid criticizing the job performance of specific employees of the school district. Personnel matters are confidential and must be handled through proper channels and not in a public forum. Finally, we provide this as an opportunity for public comments, but it is generally not a back and forth conversation, especially of items not on the agenda. At times, we'll try to help if we can with information before or after the meeting, but we must proceed with our board meeting agenda items. With that, I invite anyone who wishes to address the board to step up to the microphone, make sure the green light is on, and start by stating your name and home address. Especially of items not on the agenda. At times, we'll try to help if we can with information before or after the meeting. Going once. But we must proceed with our board Twice. meeting agenda items. With that, all I right. invite anyone who wishes to address Move it the board along. to step up to the microphone, make sure the green light is on, and start by stating. That brings us to our consent agenda. Tonight's consent agenda consists of 5 items.
Did we pull one?
We did pull one, which got us to 5.
Okay.
Item 1, approval of minutes of the October 28th, 2024 regular board meeting. Item 2, personnel appointments and adjustments. Item 3, bills due and payable and bills paid between board meetings. Item 4, delegate assembly representative. And item 6, school resource officers agreement with the city of Evansdale. Are there any items that board members want to see removed? Bills due and payable and bills paid between board meetings. Hearing none, can I get a motion to put these on the table?
So moved.
And item 6.
Second.
School resource officers agreement. All those in favor of approving items 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6, state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye. Motion carried. That brings us to item 10, which is the River Hills Consortium SBRC application for special education administrative costs. It is the superintendent's recommendation that the board approve the application to the School Budget Review Committee, SBRC, in the amount of $37,902.88 for special education administrative costs associated with the River Hills Consortium program for the 2025-2026 school year. Can we get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All right, and we have Megan Allen, Director of Special Education, and our own Jeff Summerfield here. While Megan's walking up, I'll give a little brief detail. The Waterloo Schools currently send students to River Hill School located in the Cedar Falls School District. The Iowa Department of Education provides guidance on appropriate uses of funds for special education services. And Megan, if you can give us a little bit more information on this.
Sure. Is it on? Can you hear me? Okay. So currently, this year, we have 18 students that attend River Hills. So a big chunk of those are 8 at the 12th grade level. So the rest of the grades kind of sprinkle down throughout, but these would be students who we have tried and failed to meet their IEP services here in Waterloo, and then we get to a point where we recommend a special school placement when we get to that point. When we've tried everything we can here and we still can't meet their needs, then we request a placement at River Hills or a special school placement. So on our continuum of service here in Waterloo, that's River Hills. And then we get to a point where we recommend
So this is calculated by taking Waterloo percentage of the total students divided into the total cost of operating River Hills. Is that how that works?
Yes, that's correct. So whatever our enrollment is, we get a prorated share of that total cost.
Okay. And so this is separate than special education shortfall?
Yeah, this is totally different. This is just to participate in the program. The state makes an exception. Normally, we're not allowed to charge indirect or overhead administrative expenses to special ed.
Okay.
But because this is a consortium, the state makes a special exception to the rule. When we're billed then from River Hills for the services, it'll include that cost, and we just need permission from the board basically to participate and pay that expense.
So is our trend line on the number of students there?
Decreasing.
Decreasing.
So, let me go back. So in 18-19, that school year, we had 32 students there. 19 and 20, 29 students, then down to 27, 25, 23, and now we're at 18. So with our expanded programming here in Waterloo, you've probably heard the term extended core. This is that population of students that we are serving here. So after this year, we'll have 8 12th graders that will move on from River Hills. So that will bring our number pretty low to the amount of students that we are serving through River Hills.
So what are the extended services we've added in order to accommodate more students?
So some of those, actually most of those are at the secondary level, like middle school and high school, and then even our 4+ program. So we've added Gateway out at WCCX, and that is for students who have met their graduation requirements, but still have unmet needs in the area of living and working. So that is a transitional program for students in that area. Right now we have 5 students enrolled there, but we do anticipate to more than double our numbers in that program. When families seek out River Hills, they're really looking for more of that functional learning for their students. So we've added more of those programs both at the WCCX and within East and West. More than double our.
So are those living skills?
Yep.
So what facilities do we have? Kitchens or what?
Yes. So our new, at both East and West in our extended core programs, we do have like functional kitchens. We also have washer and dryer to teach more of those skills. The new life skills lab that we have at the WCCX also has like a bedroom type setup with a bed and like nightstand, and then we also have like a dining room, kitchen, and like a mock apartment essentially with all of those features in that room.
So is that, will there be additional facilities? Are additional facilities designed into the new high school?
Yes. Yes, we'll have another life skills lab in the new high school that will be similar, but just for a different population of students. So we'll have that more for our students that are in high school, and then the program that's in the WCCX will be for those like 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds because they're eligible for their special education until they are 21 years old. That will be
similar, but.
So do we have students, is River Hills K through?
More for our students that are.
Yeah,
in high school.
they would say
Program that's
ages 3 through
for
21.
those, like, 18,
So do we have students that
because they're eligible
are
for
at
special education.
River Hills for a period of time and then come back into our system or not? Do you know?
No, we only, in my time in the leadership role here, we've only had one student that ever transitioned back to us, was at River Hills and then transitioned back to us. We've only had one.
Okay, or at, like, River Hills for a period of time. and
On the
then
handout,
back into our system or not? Do you know?
We
It has
only,
17
in my time,
students.
in the leadership role
Is
here,
there
we've only
discrepancy
had
in one?
student that ever We, transitioned back. there might be.
It could be the date.
Yes,
as
it
well.
might be that, and we've had, I think I know the student in question, and there was questions as to whether they were a Cedar Falls student or our student. There was the family moved, and so depending on what you're looking at, it might be. I'm guessing that's the student.
It could be the date.
Yes, it might be that, and we've had, I think I know the student.
Any more questions or comments?
And there was questions.
So this again gives us authority but no money.
That's correct. And it doesn't even give us authority, it's just, we will have the ability to pay the bill that comes from them. We don't get authority or money for this. I mean, indirectly, if this results in us running a special ed deficit, then we'll get authority, but this alone does not give us authority or funding.
This is just agreement.
This is just an agreement with the center.
So what's the role of the school budget review committee? Why do they need to approve it?
The state requires that the board approve us basically participating in the program. This alone does not give us authority or funding.
This is just agreement.
This is just an agreement with the center.
Not sure why, but.
A lot of rules.
Okay.
All right, we good? So all those in favor of approving the superintendent's recommendation, state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye. Motion carried. That brings us to our next item,
Not sure why.
item 11, the Lead Center Consortium SBRC application for special education administrative costs. All those in favor of approving the superintendent's recommendation that the board approve the application to the School Budget Review Committee, SBRC, in the amount of $8,716.70 for special education administrative costs associated with the Lead Center Consortium program for the 2025-2026 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Committee, SBRC, and glad you didn't go far.
Yep. So this is a similar type of special school, except the Lead Center is it is all behavior. So minus the cognitive disability side of a continuum and just focuses on the behavior. And currently, really proud to say we have only 5 students at the Lead Center, and that again speaks to our expanded behavior continuum here in Waterloo that I think sometimes it doesn't always feel like we have a really strong behavior system in special education in our schools, but from a programmatic standpoint, we really have added a lot of behavior type programs here in Waterloo. Part of that has been, quite honestly, because we can't get kids into the Lead Center. That is a downfall of consortiums, is when it's not just us wanting a spot, it's we're competing with all the surrounding districts for spots at both River Hills and the Lead Center. It is really hard to get a student into either one of those places, but the Lead Center even more so than River Hills. So part of the reason that number 5 is so low is because we can't get kids in, and then we're forced to figure it out here, use our staff differently, and increase our programming here.
So these students, though, aren't they there for a period of time? Or are they
Correct.
all year?
Yeah, yes, they are there all year until data would show that they are ready for reintegration. So different than River Hills, it is very common that our students that go to the Lead Center are only there for a shorter time span, maybe a year or 2, and then reintegrate back into our setting here.
So we have 5 slots that we are.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not slots. It's just, it's kind of to whatever discretion the Lead Center wants when they have a waiting list, and we do have a few kids on that waiting list. And when a spot becomes available, it's not if a
spots
Waterloo
that
kid transitions back to Waterloo, we aren't guaranteed that spot to put another Waterloo student in. It's however they are running their wait list. They have a waiting list, and we do have a few kids on that waiting list.
And this is the same thing, no authority, no
If a
money.
Waterloo
That is
kid
correct.
transitions back to Waterloo, we aren't guaranteed that
Okay.
spot.
Any more questions, comments?
Waterloo student, and it's however
Excuse me.
they are running.
All those in favor of approving the superintendent's recommendation, state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
And this is the same thing, no.
Chair votes aye. Motion carried. Thank you, Megan. Jeff, thank you, appreciate it. Okay, any more questions, comments? Excuse me. Moving along. Still haven't figured out this technology, but we'll get there. Chair votes aye. Item 12, print shop copier purchase. It is the superintendent's recommendation that the Board of Education approve the bid submitted by Infomax for the purchase of a Canon V800 color image press copier for the base bid of $87,197 plus related maintenance fees.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, and we have Jeff, this is,
Yeah.
you're up. I can give a.
We also have Dave Johnson from the print shop here to answer questions too, but
Hello, everyone.
Hey, how you
I'm
doing?
Johnson. I've been your print supervisor for 3 years and have enjoyed myself tremendously.
Second.
Nice to see a face.
Okay.
We go with the names of everyone. What we're doing here is we're making an investment in this copier here. Actually, what we're really doing is getting off a very ugly lease is what we have. And we were, due to not looking at the fine print, we became victim of a being overcharged, take advantage, and so what we're doing is we're correcting that. We're recommending doing a purchase, and this will start, basically the savings will start immediately. This machine that we're buying is it's a larger volume machine, which will drive down our costs per unit. So I will actually be able to lower costs to the schools to be able to get some of the same printing. It's not a great deal, but it's 10%. Okay, over the long run, those dimes will make dollars, and that's what's going to help us, as we move forward, trying to contain our costs in printing. There are a lot of other options out there for containing these costs. That's another day, but with this one, we look at, we'll be saving at least $500 a month, and the best of it is the quality and the types of products we can make is just unbelievable. I brought a sample of something off of this type of machine. This is the kind of stuff we're doing now.
You don't even need the microphone.
This is high-end stuff. We're doing it on machines in our print shop. I brought a sample because we have now, when Michael was here, we were able to make investments in smaller machines that allowed us to do this. This is good stuff. When we make our programs, for our graduation programs, we do things for we make posters for our kids when they put together their programs. They can be proud of that. It looks great. The only thing that holds us back is our imagination as far as our graphic designers. Other than that, we will have the equipment to move forward. Now, what's also nice, most machines like this, that after about 4 years, they're pretty worn out. We can get 7 years out of this machine. It's that robust. And that means that overall, our cost of operation is going to go be a better deal for us as we move forward in the future. Any other questions?
Do you have other leases in the same category?
This was something that Michael and I had worked on. Jeff can know all about this too, was get rid of the leases, go for purchases. The reason being is the companies, once they get to the end of their lease,
Do you have
they're not
leases in the same category?
Okay, then you have to get rid of it. Well, in this situation, what we did with Michael, what we decided on purchasing them. The last set we purchased, we got 6 years out of it instead of 4. So that helped us out tremendously, as we move forward with this. So we were able to purchase our last set of black and whites. This is the color. This rounds us out. We're going to be good for the next 6 years. That's to me, then we can start working on containing costs in other areas.
So on the maintenance, they come in every so many copies and refurbish, is that how that works?
What it is that on the maintenance program, they have a set amount of what we're dealing with a color copier. What it is that they give us a
So on the
monthly
maintenance,
50,000 impressions.
they come in every so many copies and refurbish, is that how that
I
works?
think about 5 cents each, we're down to 3.5 cents. Well, that's over almost $1,000 that we're going to be saving right there. And it's a good thing that as we move forward. And like I said, the companies that they really sharpen their pencil for this, and Informax has been a tremendous supporter of us in all of education. I met him when I was a supervisor at the AAA. They really do. They actually put a maintenance person in this area because they have so much business up here. And when you're talking about high-end production machines, they do a great job. And I think we're going to have a long history with them.
So do you do any printing whatsoever for the class?
That's the next step up, what that is. What we do is the 90% of the stuff that we do, that's the 10% which is specialty printing. Now, I know people who make those books, and I know how that.
So do you do any printing whatsoever for
Parts of it here and send it to them and put the binder on. There's an additional cost in that with the shipping and all. But yes, we can control some of that. But we also would allow them to make their own books here locally. And I think they'll find they'll do a fantastic job of that.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're still managing this. Some districts don't have it, but my understanding throughout the years is we're much better off cost-wise doing it in-house. And the response time is usually better as well. I'm glad you're still, thank you.
This is Pepple, or was it coming
Some
zero?
districts don't have it.
Yeah, we're gonna
but
be
my
paying for this out of
understanding
Pepple.
Throughout the years is we're much better off cost-wise doing it in-house.
Thank you. Thank you.
And the
Looks
response
good.
time is usually better.
Any more questions, comments? All right, all those in favor of approving the superintendent's recommendation, state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Yeah, we're gonna be paying for this out of.
Chair votes aye, motion carried. Thank you again for all your work on that. Thank you. Thank you. Looks good. The next item on our agenda is item 13, the purchase of district maintenance vehicles. It's the superintendent's recommendation that the Board of Education approve the purchase of a truck for the maintenance department at a total cost of $42,930.40. The next item on our agenda is
So
item
moved.
13.
Second.
Purchase of district maintenance vehicles. Okay, and I did get a message from Zach Kelly. He's not able to attend this evening, but he did share some information. And then this came across through finance or facility? Facilities.
Yeah.
And they gave us a little bit more insight. So the maintenance department is seeking approval to purchase a truck which will be used by the district's plumber. The proposed vehicle is a 2024 Chevy Silverado 4x4, which will replace a 2012 van with 185,000 miles. The Facilities Committee has reviewed the specifications and recommends approval of the purchase from Carl Chevrolet at a cost of $42,930.40. Chevy Silverado 4x4, which will replace a 2012.
So my understanding is this is part of the state procurement contract, is that correct?
As far as the costing, yeah.
Yes.
Yep, yep.
From Carl Chevrolet at a cost of $42,000.
So that explains why the source would be whoever the low bidder is for the state, which is Carl. This is part of the state procurement.
Yes, and I believe it's on the lot currently, so we don't have to wait for it.
Yeah, that is correct.
Let me see if there's any more information he put on here.
Would be whoever the
Nope,
low
he
bidder is
just
for the state.
put what Lau just had mentioned about the contract catalog consortium. Yes, and I believe it is replacing the plumber's vehicle, and I believe we already have a bed, not the bed, the box that goes on there as well.
I think it's going to transfer those from the existing one to the new vehicle.
Yep.
Gotta have one, I think, on a state or something.
And we're trading in the current vehicle with 185,000 miles. So they're taking our trade in as well. So are there any more questions or comments on this?
Existing one to the new vehicle.
Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the superintendent's recommendation, state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye, motion carried. That is the end of our action items for the evening, and now on to the superintendent's report. All those in favor of approving the superintendent's recommendation, state aye.
Okay, well, I think the big news, and I'm looking at some dates here. Obviously, the big news was the passing of the project last Tuesday, so exciting. I am still continuing to try to respond to all of the positive messages we've gotten from community members, staff members, parents, so forth. So just want to thank the school board for all that. You know, it's been a long, really kind of a long year since it's about almost a year to the day when we announced that we were looking at doing the high school project, and we've had it's been kind of a roller coaster, but feels really good as a district leadership team. All those who have worked on it just feels like a weight off our shoulders. The statistics came back, and I know Emily and I talked this morning about like a graphic that's going to kind of show that we got a breakdown of the votes by ward, and overall very, very encouraging numbers across the entire district. So we're going to share those with you once we get those kind of put into a nice chart for you. Pam and I spoke this morning. We are going to, at our December 9th school board meeting, that's when the next official steps are in terms of, I guess, what officially solidifying the vote results. Also during that night, we are going to just kind of have a little celebration that we're planning on, just commemorating the what happened, all the work that went into it, and then really outlining those next steps. So met with Emily and Pam this morning, and we talked about, okay, we're gonna celebrate a little bit here and kind of just catch our breath, but then obviously there are a number of next steps that need to happen. And so we're actually actively putting together a timeline for the community, for you guys, so you can see, okay, what happens when will we do the branding, when will we do the selection of the mascot, you know, those sort of things, and at least give you a tentative timeline. Nothing's going to be perfect. We saw some boundary discussions to discuss. We've still got, you know, just in terms of the just the construction, what that timeline looks like. We're going to put it all in one spot so you can kind of, at a glance, not just you, but the community can see, okay, the next 4 years, kind of what happens next. So we're going to do our best that we can to put that together for you. But like I said, on December 9th is the next official board action where we take the results of the vote, and Pam knows a little bit more about that.
Right, we will get the abstract of votes from the elections office, and then we'll just officially approve that. It's more semantics than anything, but then just kind of I think a good opportunity to come back and kick off what this project is going to look like for the next few years.
But the plan was that we needed to issue the first $15 million bond this calendar year.
No, it won't be until the this spring is when we won't, because we won't be breaking ground until like March. So, yeah, we'll be working with Tim Oswald with Piper, but the plan is not to issue bonds until this spring.
This calendar year.
No, it won't be until the beginning.
But then we lose the flexibility of the timeline on the 15 million, because if you issue more than, are you saying the 15, well, in 2025 calendar year, we will only be issuing the 15 million?
No, I think there's a plan to issue more, but Tim's going to have some proposals for the board.
15 million, because, oh, we need to check that, because my understanding was if we issue the 15 million in 2024 calendar year, then it's open-ended as to how we use that, the timeline for using that. But if you go more than 15 million in any calendar year, then you're locked into the spending
The arbitrage rules.
benchmark. So
Yeah.
it seems like it would be beneficial to,
I'm not sure that there was enough sufficient time from the time we had the vote in November to get bonds sold before the end of 2024. I'm not sure that was ever the plan. The arbitrage rules.
benchmark. So it seems like it would be beneficial to. It was the plan.
I'm not sure that there was enough sufficient time from the time we had the vote in November.
I think that needs to be discussed a little further.
I'm not sure that was ever the plan.
I'm looking at, we got the November 26th finance meeting. Perhaps that would be a time to dig into that a little bit more.
Yeah, I will definitely get I can get some information for the board before that time also.
Yeah, because I think there is a time crunch, but if we need to discuss it a little further. Make that decision. Need to understand
I'm looking at, we got the November
the
26th finance
facts
meeting.
now,
Perhaps that would be a time.
so that we don't discover, oh, we're too late. And we could have if we'd have started earlier.
Before that time also.
Yeah, because
I can get some additional information yet this week, I believe.
Okay. Make that decision. Need to understand.
So yeah, so super exciting news. Within the district, there's just been a lot of enthusiasm as we visit buildings, and people are just super excited, and they're asking me, okay, my kid is in this grade, what does that mean? What grade, and so we've been kind of explaining that current 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students will be the first sophomore, junior, seniors in the building, and so super exciting. So we have more to come on that. Next thing, another exciting update. I know I shared this with the board, and we're going to do some more sharing with our school or with our district or with our employees. But the results of the climate survey came back 2 weeks ago, and our goal for the year, and now granted, it's a long year, and there's a lot of months to go, but our goal for the year was to get to 89% employee satisfaction, and this most recent survey came back at 90%. So we're ahead of pace. We're really happy about where the climate's at in the district, and we actually had a really high percentage. We had 1,300 of our 1,700 employees take the survey. And this is a survey that's been given to Waterloo staff for at least, I think it's 5 years. So by far the highest marks we've ever received on that survey. So we're super excited about just all the things going on when you look at attendance, when you look at climate survey results, when you look at enrollment numbers, which I passed that along to the board last week as well. Our enrollment, in terms of the actual number of students actually in our classes, I guess it's up a couple students from last year, but still the fact that we are in the midst of open enrollments as easy as ever, and the opportunity to go to private schools with vouchers is as compelling as ever. The fact that we've seen no enrollment lost in our district is pretty incredible. Speaking of the climate survey results, board members, I know you've been kind of itching to get your hands on that dashboard, and that is going to be coming to you're going to have access to it here very, very soon. The one thing I want to remind you, so you're going to see as you get in, and I told Matt I would say this with all of you guys here, is there's going to be there's the main pages and there's supporting pages. We're very careful about that you guys will have access to the main pages, but in terms of some of the deeper student information, that's just something we're not able to share with everyone. So I feel very good that we'll be able to get you guys all the information that you want, and I'm just excited for you to pull that up. Literally, you guys can, in your offices, at home, on the weekend, you can say, hey, I wonder how our attendance is looking, or I wonder how some of our assessment scores are looking. You can pull that up at any time and get that real-time data. So we're going to have that in your hands here very soon. So 3 really exciting updates. There's a lot of positive momentum going on in the district. At home, on the weekend, you can say, hey, I wonder how our attendance is looking.
Thank you, Dr. Smith.
I wonder how some of our assessment scores are looking.
Tonight we'll start with Director Matlock.
So we're going to have that in your hands.
Thank you. First, I'd like to pay respect and honor and gratitude to our veterans. Happy Veterans Day. And I also like to thank Sunny Hart, Megan Allen, Jen Hartman, Dr. Charlotta Sudduth, and Dr. Smith for taking time with us a week ago to introduce us to the early childhood classrooms at Lowell. It was a very eye-opening experience for me, and I really appreciate the time that you spent in giving us your expertise and, and your insights on those pieces. Hats off to our pre-K and kindergarten and paraeducators in those areas. I truly appreciate their hard work and dedication to laying the foundation for our students. I love the board celebrations and the information only, so I want to commend all the students that came in tonight. Congratulations to our West and East High band students. Thank you to the Waterloo Youth City Council for their leadership, and wow to the journalism program, at West High. That is just really awesome to see the work that they're doing. Looking forward to seeing that continue, in our one high school as we move that. I think that's going to be an awesome experience. And just a quote, every child is gifted. They just unwrap their packages at different times. Thank you. At West High, that is just really awesome.
Thank you, Director Matlock. Director Ewing.
Yes, also thank you to the veterans. Thank you to the board tonight for indulging me in asking the questions of the students. I am deeply, deeply passionate about what the music programs can do for our students, especially the ones that may not find their place in sports or other activities. Every student needs an extracurricular where they feel safe, promoted, and that they belong, and where they develop the soft skills that they're going to need for life. And that's my mission on the board, to be the voice for fine arts in that. And I know that many of you have joined with me in that, and I thank you all so much for that. And thank you to all of the DLT for making it through the marathon. That was the vote on this, but it really turned out the best that it possibly could, because we as a board didn't end up making the decision. It was the community that made the decision, and when the community makes the decision, that's ideal. So although the legislature made it so that we could make the decision, the community took it into their own hands. They made the decision, and in my opinion, did the right thing here by their choice. So thank you again to the DLT for making it through that, and thank you to the voters of Waterloo for having your say. Although the legislature made it so that we could make the decision,
thank you, Director Ewing. Director Knight.
We've done touched on a couple good topics here, Crystal and Janelle there. So I'm just going to a little reminder that we have conferences this week for any families out there, tomorrow and Thursday, and great opportunity to get in the building and talk to the teachers and see how your students are doing and kind of build some relationships there. So relationships are always, I think, a key element in having a successful student come through is, building a relationship with the admins, the teachers in the building, just to get to know what's going on. So please come out. Teachers are going to be there all day long, so, the 2 days, and just make it a point to use this time wisely.
Thank you, Director Knight. Director Schmidt.
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback on the Veterans Day. Congratulations and thanks to all our veterans, especially our ROTC instructors and our students in those programs. I believe the statistics are 20% of people live in the Midwest, and the Midwest provides about 40% of our national defense forces. So we're overrepresented due to programs like ROTC, so really appreciate that. I visited the greenhouse yesterday. It's enclosed. Not quite finished yet, but looking really good. That's going to be a great asset for our career programs. And then lastly, the vote again. Thanks to all who voted, especially those that attended the meetings. They came informed. And internally, all those hours that it took to make the presentations, get the information together, but I think like Janelle meant, I think we're better off for it because it helped us define our message, and the result of the feedback, especially all those that question this or that, really helps us formulate a better product. in the end. So those questions and those feedback are not lost. We just need to use them to refine the product to address every one of those, so we don't get down the road and say, oh, didn't think of that. So, very good result. It was worth the effort. Thank you. Are not lost. We just need to use them.
Thank you, Director Schmidt.
Refine the product to address
So,
every one of
I'm
those, so we don't get down
trying
the
to bring a
road.
little light to the situation, so I can just check off everything that I had here.
That's a giggle, right? Yeah.
Yeah. You City Council, check. Insider Yearbook, check. Music Department, East and West, check. Conferences, check. So, the artwork, yes. Beautiful artwork. No, I did, with all seriousness. I did prepare some things this evening, and I wanted to do it in 3 parts. The first part, I think you guys covered it well, and I wanted to. The first part was directed toward the board members, fellow board members, and this process that we've been on for the past, I could say 12 months, because it started in November of last year, and the process of getting to where we are now. It has to be a good feeling to know that the effort to move forward in this one high school didn't just fall on us 7 people. That we allowed the community to vote. To me, it makes it seem a little bit more real, a little bit more. We'll get the buy-in from the community, just because it's solely not on 7 people. So I had a much more spiel of that than you guys helped me out a little bit. So the second part of that is to Dr. Smith. So I'm going to use a sports analogy, and I'm going to use baseball. Initially, when in November, when we received the information that you were going to recommend that we look into going into the one school, I often talked about the time frame and how short I felt that the time frame was in looking into this. And the analogy I'm going to use is a baseball analogy, and you swung for the fences, in my opinion. And as of how short I felt. Yeah, you swung for the, and I'll give a little bit more insight. You swung for the fences. Normally, when you do that, you're trying to. The analogy I'm going to use is hit a home run. And on Tuesday evening, about 10 o'clock, 10:15, you hit a home run. You hit a home run. And in hitting a home run, it's one of the most exciting plays in all sports. But the home run isn't complete until you cleared the bases. So it's one thing to knock it out of the park, but you still, the runs don't count until you hit home plate. Okay, so that's the process we are now. We're going to run the bases to make sure that home run counts. So I did prepare a statement, so I'm going to read this statement. Some of the things in the statement have already been spoken of, but I'll read it again. As we are now on the knowing end of the results of this monumental election cycle, and in my opinion, the biggest decision ever to be made in the city of Waterloo and surrounding areas that make up the Waterloo Community School District, I find myself reflecting on my personal journey and how impactful this decision will be for future generations. The community has spoken, and the vote to allow the Waterloo Community School District, the Board of Directors, to use $165 million in bonds from future SAVE funds to build onto the current Central Middle School campus, a 10-12 comprehensive high school, has passed. More than 27,000 voters have expressed their thoughts and feelings through the voting process, and we are now preparing to move forward as a district and community into a journey that this area has never seen or experienced before. With that being said, let's get to work. Throughout this process, it has been my thought, focus, and push to have the people of our community that make up the Waterloo Community School District have a voice and say-so in this decision. with approximately 60% voter approval, and also knowing that 40% of the voters has some sort of apprehension still. Let's get to work. This is a phrase that you'll hear throughout this communication, regardless of your prior position on this project. Our focus should now shift to student and community-oriented goals and working together to ensure this project is successful and sustainable for generations to come. So now, let's get to work. I have decided to write this editorial to further emphasize the importance of future conversations and actions and the need to work together on this monumental decision. I will briefly detail some key points and I feel and know will be of utmost importance when embarking on this journey, but again, let's get to work. The decision will ultimately shape the landscape of our area and how we educate our students in the Waterloo Community School District for generations to come. Although there will indeed be opposing sides, if we are in the business of educating students and promoting community togetherness, we need to put differences aside and put solution-based thoughts and actions to the forefront of any decisions we make going forward. Let's get to work. I truly appreciate the countless hours invested in this project by district representatives, board members, faculty, and staff, but most importantly, the community members that attended board meetings, town hall meetings, sent emails, asked questions, engaged in meaningful conversations throughout this project, and who ultimately voted by majority to move forward. I especially want to thank those individuals who organized and sought out the petition that gave the citizens of our community the right to vote on this project, as I still feel that was the right and just thing to do. With that petition, and it's still passing by vote, allow voices to be heard, and in my opinion, gain more public buy-in on this project. Let's get to work. If the proposed new configuration of the Waterloo Community School District is the best for our students, I dare to say we do not have time to wait until the 2028-2029 graduating class to make significant changes to the structure of the educational system in our community. If it is truly Waterloo versus everyone, then we need to start preparing our students for future success by finding a way for them to utilize the WCC and giving them more opportunities for those classes and programs. In year 7, we should not still be open for business to outside districts without the large majority of our students utilizing the Waterloo Career Center first. As a district, we need to make sure our students get the opportunity and access to the career and technical educational programming options that we say are so great for our students and are the mere thought of what we are pushing this one high school project to accomplish. This cannot wait until the graduating class of 2029. Let's get to work. This project cannot be one that furthers the achievement gap or the division within our city one notch. This needs to be a reason to bring everyone together. The areas of the northeast side of Waterloo, along with the surrounding areas of Evansdale, Elk Run, Raymond, and Gilbertville, need to be a major focus, and it needs to be different than what it has been in the past. In my opinion, these areas have not received the same urgency and facility and human support as others in our district over the years. Whether you agree with that statement or not, this cannot be the case going forward. Always remember, one Waterloo should be inclusive of everyone that make up the Waterloo Community School District area. Let's get to work. With the current makeup now being one of a minority district with a roughly 60% minority, including our ELL population, and free and reduced lunch percentages being top 3 in the state, we must have a plan in place that addresses this in the makeup of the one comprehensive 10-12 high school and the entire district. Strategic placement of staff throughout the entire district will be paramount in the success of this project. If you cannot tell by now, I'm excited about the potential opportunities for our students and community. If you remember anything about what you just heard or read, remember this. It's time. Let's get to work. Staff throughout the entire district will be paramount in the success of this project. With that being said, I'll get some dates. So this is our only board meeting in the month of November. Conferences are starting tomorrow from 4 to 8 p.m. and then again on Thursday from 12 to 8 p.m. with no school on Thursday, no school on Friday. Thanksgiving break begins November 22nd through November 29th. All offices and buildings will be closed. On December 7th is the East-West boys basketball game at East High School. Note the time. No school on Friday. We might need to get some publication out. It says 2:30 p.m., but I'm not sure if that's the varsity game at 2:30 p.m. All offices and buildings will be closed. Or the on December JV game or sophomore game at 2:30 p.m. At East High School. I think it's either 1 and 2:30 or 2:30 and 4. We might need to get some publication out. While Pam is looking that up for us, the next time we'll be in this room is on December 9th for our regularly scheduled board meeting, and that is the only board meeting in the month of December.
At 12 o'clock, 1 and 2:30 or 2:30. So I wonder is the 12 to 1:30. While Pam
you have 12 and 2:30.
12 and 2, and then I have 2:30 for probably varsity.
But it doesn't take that. Basketball game is only slated for in the month of December.
We can let's get verification from Dan to make sure.
Yeah. Just make sure you're paying attention to the Waterloo Schools Facebook, and hopefully we'll get something out. I know the times did change, but we'll get that communication out. We have a couple of weeks, so. Yeah. Just make sure you're paying attention to the. So if you're planning on attending, just plan on clearing your day, the early part of your day. So it could be 1 o'clock. We'll get that communication out. With that being said, I think I covered everything. So with that being said, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
So you guys want to stay here. All those in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Chair votes aye. Motion carried. We're adjourned. Thank you.